I am pleased to have the opportunity to present the Communications Regulation Postal Services Bill 2016 for the consideration of the House. First of all, I would like to extend apologies on behalf of Minister Naughton, who unfortunately was unable to attend today, and I would like to wish Minister Naughton a speedy recovery from his accident over the Christmas period in a cycling accident. This bill is a relatively short legislative proposal, the purpose of which is to repeal Section 30 of the Communications Regulation Postal Services Act 2011, which sets out the mechanism for regulating postal pricing within universal service using a price cap mechanism. The mails business is undergoing a profound structural change, both here and internationally. Electronic substitution has had a significant impact on the letters business, while also providing opportunities for growth in parcels. This development is particularly apparent in terms of large volume postal customers, such as banks and utility providers. The trend, which has been evident for some years, accelerated in 2016, with An Post recording a doubling year-on-year volume decline, resulting in a serious financial impact for the company. In addition, the impact of a 2.5% Labour Court pay recommendation has added further pressure to already delicate financial situation. Each 1% decline in mail volumes equates to a loss of revenue for An Post of €4 million, and a 1% increase in pay adds €4.5 million to payroll. The mails business still generates almost two-thirds of An Post's revenue and represents 78% of company payroll. That explains why the volume decline and Labour Court award has had such an impact on the company's financial base. As I mentioned, internationally, the mail and post offices business are experiencing long-term structural challenges, and this is not just an issue solely related to An Post. One of the main elements of the postal service here in Ireland is the daily delivery of post to every address in the state. Government is extremely cognizant of the value placed on this service by communities in both rural and urban areas, and recognises the importance of ensuring that An Post has the capacity to continue to fulfil its obligations in this regard. Clearly, the company is entering a period of significant change in order to cope with the rapidly changing environment in which it operates. In this regard, the company has started a fundamental review with a view to identifying the strategic changes and restructuring necessary to maintain the company on a sound financial footing. The Government fully supports this review, the outcome of which is expected in early Q2 2017, and accepts that the company requires some financial headroom to be able to implement the findings of the review while continuing to deliver on its universal service obligations. Consequently, Government has agreed to introduce this bill as a matter of priority to repeal the price cap mechanism. This is the most viable option for supporting An Post in the short term, while a restructuring plan is being implemented. This is not a decision that was taken lightly. New Era has conducted an in-depth review of the company in recent months on behalf of the shareholding ministers and has confirmed the seriousness of the situation facing the company. In addition, Minister Naughton met with the Chair and CEO of An Post, Comreg and representatives for the Communication Workers Union to discuss the matter in detail. Having considered all matters, the Minister acted swiftly in taking appropriate action. The impact of this legislation will involve a substantial increase in the price of the stamp. As it stands, Ireland falls well below the European average in terms of stamp prices, and it is expected that proposed increases will bring the price in line with European norms. Cognizant of the impact such a measure might have on consumers and the SME sector, the bill also provides that the Commission for Communications Regulation (Comreg) will undertake a review of the consequences of the repeal of the price cap mechanism after a 2-year period. Comreg will report to the Minister on its findings within 6 months. The bill also enables Comreg to undertake such consultation as it considers appropriate in carrying out this review. In addition, the Minister will issue a policy direction to An Post instructing that price increases introduced following the repeal of the price cap mechanism must be subject to prior consultation with the Commission for Communications Regulation or Comreg and have due regard to the tariff principles set out in Section 28 of the Communications Regulation Postal Services Act 2011. These principles set out a number of requirements which must be complied with in the provision of a universal postal service, including that prices must be affordable, and such that all users can avail of services provided. Prices must be cost-oriented, and tariffs must be transparent and non-discriminatory. Under the 2011 Act, ComReg has a role in ensuring compliance with the tariff principles outlined in Section 28. Consideration must also be given to the impact on personal customers and the SME sector. It is important to remember that An Post provides a high-quality mail service to Irish business and personal customers across the country. The mails network consists of delivery of 2.5 million mail items every working day to 2.1 million homes and businesses, 7,620 collection, processing and delivery staff, 160 local delivery units and 4 national mail centres. The company has a number of strengths, such as its brand and nationwide reach. There has been significant work done by Bobby Kerr on the Post Office network, which has made a number of recommendations around network renewal. It is expected that these will be considered in the context of the strategic review of the company. An Post is also a significant employer with over 9,000 staff. Payroll costs amount to €40 million per month, which also includes payments to postmasters, who run the bulk of the Post Office network. Despite the difficult financial situation, I want to be clear that there is no threat to the mail's delivery or the universal service obligation. An Post will continue to deliver post to every address every working day, which is an EU requirement. The amended approach to pricing aims to ensure that An Post can continue to fulfil this obligation. I now propose to outline the main provisions of the bill. For the convenience of the House, a detailed explanatory memorandum has been published, and this provides a synopsis of the provisions. The bill is relatively short, consisting of 3 sections. Section 1 provides for the repeal of Section 30 of the Communications Regulation Postal Services Act 2011, which provides for the price cap mechanism. The section also provides that any price cap decision within the meaning of Section 30 will cease to have effect. Section 2 provides for an amendment to Section 10 of the Communications Regulation Act 2002 to enable ComReg to carry out a review of the consequences of the repeal of the price cap mechanism, Section 30 of the Communications Regulation Postal Services Act 2011. In this regard, the functions of ComReg, as set out in Section 10 of the Communications Regulations Act 2002 as amended, are amended to enable them to undertake this review. This review is to commence 2 years after the coming into operation of the Communications Regulation Postal Services Amendment Bill 2016. ComReg will report to the Minister on its findings within 6 months after the commencement of the review, and the Minister will lay the report prepared by ComReg before each of the Houses of the Oireachtas as soon as practicable. In addition, provision is made to enable ComReg to undertake such consultation as it considers appropriate in carrying out the review. Section 3 contains general provisions relating to short title, commencement, collective citation and construction. It would be prudent to have legislation in place to allow An Post pricing freedom by the end of Q1 2017. As it stands, An Post must give 1 month's notice of its intention to increase prices. So even after the commencement of the legislation, there will be a delay before a price increase can take effect. In light of the seriousness of the situation facing An Post, it is important that mechanisms are in place to enable the introduction of price increases at the earliest possible time. I look forward to hearing the views of the House on the bill, a constructive committee stage debate and your assistance in facilitating its early passage into law.